Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we will be reviewing the day two between India and Australia, the fourth test match. The tail wagged again, 315 for 8, and then they ended up with 369 Australia. And then the Rohit Sharma shot, it was unfortunate, but what's the initial thoughts on day two?
Oh man, it was swinging both ways. It's like a roller coaster ride. I think Australia started off the 300 for 5, good partnership with Green and Payne. But then those wickets, I think Shardul Thakur was brilliant. He bowled
Yeah,
brilliantly. That ball, Sundar bowled to Green, that was magnificent as well. And I thought this is done 330, 335, like the third test.
yeah.
I think they're going to get all out. But then those extra 40, 50 runs, which we always expect from the tail, they were going to hit India. If they can do that to Bumrah and Shami, they
It's
were going to,
expected that they
yeah,
go to someone
yeah,
like a Siraj and a Shardul, yeah, for sure.
yeah. Maybe bowl a bit more aggressively, but I understand, this is their first test match, a lot of them, and first 2, 3 test matches. So I
Yeah.
understand that. But of course, that is a problem that India need to fix, but I don't know how they're going to fix it. But then after that, I think Shubman Gill got out. I think slowly he's finding out, like, people will examine him and
Yeah.
challenge him in Test cricket, because I think initially nobody knew exactly, and he's a talented guy, so he will capitalize on that. But now I think they're slowly getting to terms with him. I think Cummins, Stark, Hazel would have proper plans for him. I think played a bit outside of the line and he nicked one. And then it was a magnificent innings, test innings, brilliant. He's the only guy. I think he looked more comfortable than Labuschagne Smith or anyone like Rohit
Yeah.
Sharma. Chanceless innings, but
Yeah.
this guy has a serious issue with, I don't know what it is, like mindset, like concentration, lapse of concentration. You saw what Sunil Gavaskar said. I'm nothing compared to that. So like what you saw what he said about
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma, you can't do
Yeah.
that like in a test game, and he needs to understand that going forward. He can't. I understand that's how he plays and everything, but you have to understand the situation. You have to understand the team. Virat Kohli is not there behind you. There's no Jadeja as well. You have like Washington Sundar. You have a weekend batting lineup. You're playing 5 bowlers, so you need to understand everything and then take responsibility. And the most frustrating thing is that he could have scored a double hundred easily.
Yeah.
He looked like the best batsman this series.
Yeah.
And that's why it's more frustrating.
And he's such a gifted player. I've always been talking highly about Rohit Sharma, but it is something that he lacks. He has that moment of a little bit of a lapse of judgment, unfortunately, and that always costs him. But he is an incredible player. Of
But
course,
you
it
know what the
could.
shame is? He actually used to struggle with the new ball.
Yeah,
And there's a crack in the middle of this pitch. You could see a hint of movement here and there, but he handled that. That's
he handled
the
it
frustrating.
beautifully. He handled it
Yeah.
beautifully.
And this was an issue before, so he's improved that aspect of his game, but it's just the other aspect where he needs to like focus.
But for the 44 runs that he was on the pitch, he was looking quite incredible, and it was just so hard. It was just so pleasing to watch that kind of an innings, and got out of the wrong time, unfortunately, because this puts a lot of pressure now on Puji and Ajinkya, and we gotta see how they come up on day three. Of course, the session after tea was washed out because of rain, and I
Yeah.
believe there's a whole bunch of rain, so it could affect a little bit of day three as well. So we're gonna have to see how that goes, because that will play a big factor. But India would like the rain coming in. They'd expect a little bit more of it so that this test could be drawn and they continue to hold the series as well. So that'll be nice.
Yeah.
After all that's gone against them, this would be something that would be going for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think India will take the rain. But people are asking, like, because day three most likely is going to be sunny. Day 4 and 5, there's a lot of rain expected. So people were saying, like, would they approach it, like, try to bat out this day and everything? But with India, I've seen this batting lineup. Each batsman will play his game. Pujara will bat it out. Rahane will mix and match. Pant will go aggressive. So it just
Yeah.
depends on who's batting at the crease. You'll see a different style of approach. So I think that's how they'll go. They'll play the natural game like they did in Sydney. Like Sydney, they needed to bat out the day, but you saw two contrasting innings. So I think the same thing will happen.
Yeah. And with Mayank as well, I mean, coming in again and not opening, which is his usual spot, and to come in at number six probably, or five at six, depending on what the team management decides. It's going to be interesting how he faces the kind of a slightly older ball, depending
Yeah.
on when he comes in
The
and when he
only
comes
thing
back
I'm
in.
worried about is if he comes in towards the second new ball. Then
Which is probably ideal, right, for him. It'd be better because he knows how to face the new
of
ball.
course, I mean, as an opener, it'll be
Yeah.
perfect. But at the same time, Mitchell Stark getting the
He has
ball.
that ball, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
That
I
he has
think
that issue of that back lift a little bit, yeah.
yeah, but like you said, I think how he plays the old ball, how he plays Nathan Line, that's going to be key.
Yeah.
I think Vihari played him
Very well.
decent. Yeah, I played him really well, and Vihari can play that reverse swing as well. So I don't know how Agarwal will approach it. And this pitch, there is a crack there. So if it hits that crack and stuff, there is a bit of movement. But one thing, if you notice, there's a lot of bounce. So it's
Yeah.
very difficult to get bored on this pitch right now, unless one keeps low.
And even the leg
LBW,
befores, yeah.
yeah,
Even
even
the leg
LBW
before.
is difficult. So I think you can leave on length. That's important. I think
Yeah.
something that Shubman Gill probably needed to do, but he learned as he.
Yeah.
And Rohit Sharma was doing it beautifully. Like he calculated the pitch,
Experience.
and he doesn't. He's one Indian batsman who doesn't get troubled by bounce. Like
Yeah.
he just doesn't like the extra bounce. He likes it. So
Yeah. And also, one last thing for the Indians would be how Washington Sundar can perform with the bat, because he was incredible with the ball. He was the only spinner, and he did a pretty damn good job at it, taking those 3 wickets and stuff like that. But now with the bat also, if it comes to him, maybe like a couple of quick wickets, and if he has to come in at a time, he has to play the day out. That would be very interesting to see as well.
yeah, I think there's a lot of expectations on him. I honestly feel that as a batsman, you can't expect too much because he can bat, but this is not a T20 game, right? And even
Yeah.
in T20s, he doesn't bat as much as like maybe like a Jadeja. So I think this is a lot expecting from him. So I think if whatever he gets from here, it's a bonus for
Yeah.
Washington. So whatever runs he gets is a bonus. And I think 3 wickets and that of Smith, that's a dream debut. Like
Yeah.
people are under talking it because right now everyone wants it's a series decider and everything. But if you look at it from like a different point of view, this is an unbelievable performance from the Indian bowling lineup. Like, yes, they leaked runs and everything, but to get Australia all out in the first test match or first 2 test matches is crazy.
And Nattu as well. Natarajan,
Yeah,
is his dream series for him. ODI debut, T20 debut, now Test debut, and performing in all 3 formats incredibly well.
yeah, he was magnificent. I think with Natarajan, he doesn't play much 5 ball cricket, so the more he plays, he's going to get better.
Learn
So
better, yeah.
yeah, I think that stamina, you could see it in the end of the first day. He was getting a bit tired. So the more he plays, I think he will get better. And he always that angle left arm bowler. India is missing that since Zahir Khan. So I think if they can get him at least to play more matches and stuff, it'll help India a lot going forward. And even when the other people are fit, like Bumrah, Shami, you might want to play Natarajan in a particular game just to create an angle or
Yeah.
depending on the opposition.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I think that wraps it up. Look, big day for India to come through. The big guys in Pujara and Rahane need to step it up, try to score as much as they possibly can, and keep that day 3 going. Try to get as close to the Australian score as possible. If they can get above that 300, it'd be magical and be beautiful, because day 4 and 5 could be a rain interrupted day, so that could mean that the test gets draw, and then 1-1 after the kind of circumstances that we've been through, that take that any day of the week.
Yeah, I think Australia, you'll see a different approach. I think they're going to get really aggressive.
Aggressive.
Yeah, on day 3. I don't think they realized, like, they knew the rain was coming probably, but they didn't realize it's going to wash out a whole session.
Yeah.
You could see Tim Payne was flustered at the end. He was
Yeah,
arguing with the
yeah.
umpire and stuff. So I think they're going to be really aggressive. But your thought on Nathan Lyon, it's his 100 test match. I think he batted really well. And then the way he trapped Rohit, yes, it was a
Yeah.
false shot, but he kept the fielder there and he put the bait right in front of Rohit.
Yeah, and Rohit took the bait, unfortunately, and you have to give a little bit credit to the bowler as well. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been magnificent for Australia for a few years now, and he's continuing to do what he knows best. Just try to keep bowling those line and length, and then just try to bait the batsman into it. And more often than not, these batsmen are taking that bait. So hats off to him. He's been
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I think Rishabh Pant is another one you have to watch out for because he's going to play the
Really
same way, and he might if
He
Australia.
he might get out for a duck, or he might score that century.
Yeah,
You
and if
never really know.
Australia drop him, then he's going to punish them. So I think Lyon's going to tell everybody be on your toes because he could have got him out twice in the last game. So
Yeah.
I
Especially behind the stumps.
yeah,
I'm not
but
naming
that's the
names.
difference, I mean, yeah, exactly, Tim Payne. But I know I just wanted to ask you quickly before we wrap up, Rohit Sharma and Rishabh Pant, right? From Rishabh Pant, we say like, yeah, that's how he plays and everything like that. But because Rohit maybe is a senior player and
Yeah.
he has the ability to defend and everything, you think like you expect more from Rohit Sharma when it comes to shots like that in comparison to Pant.
I think so. I expect more from Rohit Sharma only because of his experience and because of the fact that he is a senior statesman. I mean, except him, Pujara and Rahane are the guys, right?
Yeah, and
They are
for
the
me,
three, and without Virat Kohli,
he plays chanceless actually, Rohit Sharma. Like
exactly. Pant
apart
will
from
keep
that,
giving you those chances, like with Rohit Sharma,
Yeah.
except for that shot that he took, it was a beautiful innings. And with Pant, you sense that there's a little bit of aggression, there's a little
Yeah,
bit of like that kind of stuff with him. And you know that he's susceptible to getting out. So you go with that kind of mindset with him. Okay, if he hits it, hit out again.
Exactly.
Kind of guy.
When he
So,
got out on 97, I was not angry even one bit. Like when he got out, I'm like,
played his
that's how he
part.
plays.
It was
Yeah.
unfortunate that he didn't get a
But
century.
when
He played
Rohit
his
got
part.
out, yeah, I was like, I had my head. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and this is hopefully Pant improves and develops that kind of a Rohit Sharma kind of attitude, because he has that capability. He is a gifted batsman as well. If
Yeah.
he can improve on that, it'd be good for him. But Rohit Sharma, I think he has to really take a long hard look at himself and just be like, you know what, I need to improve this aspect of my game if I want to continue
Yeah.
being the senior statesman in Test cricket as well. He has
Also,
2-3 years of good cricket left in him, so he has to capitalize on it.
yeah. Also, I think maybe like I could be wrong. I mean, like if they bat with somebody like maybe Virat Kohli, that might help them. Like because he's somebody who's talkative.
Yeah.
Like Pujara and Rahane, like I'm sure they give advice. They're very calm and everything, but they're not gonna like tell you exactly what to do. Kohli might just like he has that personality, so he might like uh, I don't know. Like you don't want to constrain a batsman, but at the same time, I think that advice would help somebody like a Virat Kohli, and he can lead also from the front. He can
Right.
lead by example.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's an important way of
Yeah.
looking at it. A different perspective possibly would help. We'll see
Yeah.
how it goes. Maybe next series we see them bat together. It'll be fun to see, because both of them are very gifted batsmen, and it'll be a lot of fun to see something like that. Well,
Yep.
in that wraps up day 2. Looking forward to day 3 and
Yeah.
hoping that either draw or an Indian win. It is what it is. I still hope for that to happen.
India
But
to bat till tea or till end of day's play.
end of day's play, bro, frustrate the Australians completely.
With Pujara, there
They,
is possible.
I want Pujara to just chill out over there, camp over there, get some tea for himself, get some lunch for himself, sit over there, just completely occupy that one spot, and hopefully Rahane can and play the kind of style that we've seen him play. Hopefully centuries for both of them. Beautiful way to end the series.
Yeah, for sure.
That wraps it up. Looking
Yeah.
forward to day 3. Take care. I will
Perfect.
talk to you right after.
Thank you, man. Take care.